Hey everyone, I haven't made a video in a while and I'm home alone once again, and I thought that it'd be a great opportunity to make a video. Now I get lots of questions on Tumblr about reaching out for help, and I thought that I'm like really great at doing that now since I've had so much experience with it, which is definitely not a good thing. But yeah, I thought I could share my experiences and give you guys tips on how to do so. Now, number one, I look like crap, I'm sorry. Number two, my room's a mess, but you know, I just wanted to do this before I go out. And yeah, so, okay, firstly, reaching out for help is really scary at first. Of course it is. Like, if you're experiencing strong anxiety and a strong reluctance towards it, it's totally understandable, I swear. It can be really scary to open up to someone with all the stuff that are going inside your head and just things that are going on in your life. But you have to realize that it's worth it. We might not always reach out to the right people, but I reckon like, reaching out to anyone is better than no one. Now, I know lots of people are more willing to reach out to friends, and while I condone that, I don't think it's necessarily the best thing you can do. Like, you can totally use your friends as, you know, support through the difficult time, you know, because it's good for, like, those around you to know what's going on, but, a lot of the time your friends are going through stuff as well, or they might be going through similar things, it might be triggered and might be a bit like a lot of pressure for them. So I strongly recommend, like, if you're still in school, reaching out to a teacher, number one, teacher that you trust, or a school counsellor. That's like a really good basic first step. Then you can either build up trust with them, or maybe if they recommend you actually seeing a psychologist outside of school and them being able to set it up for you, you should totally do that. But I think, yeah, like, talking to a teacher or a school counsellor first is definitely an important thing. I reached out to a teacher first. She's the one that told my parents what was going on. She's the one that made me see a psychologist first. And she's kind of the first person that actually got me, like, on the path of getting help. She wasn't necessarily able to help me with all my problems because she wasn't obviously trained and stuff, but she did, like, support me a lot. I was able to go to her, and I could barely speak at first, but now I'm, like, really confident in talking to people about what's going on for me. Yeah, okay, the problem with telling teachers though, something I've encountered recently actually. I used to see this teacher in my school. On Tumblr I called her M, I'm pretty sure, and she was so supportive. She talked to me on Facebook and was always willing to be there for me. And then when I started seeing my latest case manager, she was like, no, this is a bad relationship because of my BPD. I was getting attached, and she wasn't setting good limitations, and she was going through a lot of pressure because I was, you know, telling her about wanting to kill myself and telling her about overdoses, and that was just like, she just cared about me a lot and wanted to help, but she didn't know how, and she wasn't trained, and that therefore it was putting, yeah, a lot of unnecessary pressure on her. That's why I suggest reaching out to a teacher or so being a good first step. But if you're going through a lot of mental illnesses, or if you're, like, contemplating, you know, suicide or self-harming, I think it's really important to go beyond that, eventually at least. And yeah, in terms of psychology, psychologists are great. I've met really shit ones, I've met some okay ones, I've met some amazing ones. Under the term psychologist, I usually include counsellors and therapists because it's just easier to refer to them as psychs, like I always do. Like, my case manager is a therapist, but she deals with my caseload, so, like, deals with my interactions with other services and psychiatrists and medication and such. But yeah, I just call her my psych sometimes. it can be really helpful because it's their job to actually help people through whatever they are going through. It can be really intimidating sitting in like this room with a stranger basically, but once you start letting them in, once you get to know them, then it becomes easier. Like, it can take like months, but I think what I usually say is give it a month or so, and if you still have not connected properly with them while you're still being honest and actually trying to participate, then you should consider moving on to someone else. Not recently, like last year sometime, I was seeing a psych and I really didn't like her. She had no idea what to do with me. She had a strong therapeutic background, but she was going nowhere with me. I wasn't getting attached to her like my BPD sometimes makes me with authority figures, and therefore I was kind of just disconnected from her. And then I started cancelling sessions, I started avoiding her. She was about to close my case. Then one day I was seeing my nurse, and I was really struggling, and she took me, and the liaison person at the service was my current case manager. Like, I just met her through that, and then we instantly clicked, and ever since then she's been helping me so much. She's been there for me. Unfortunately, she's going on maternity leave soon and it's killing me, but we've achieved a lot together and she's just really great. So yeah, I think going to, like, in Australia, like going to places like Headspace, it's a youth centre where you're able to receive free psychology sessions and such. There's other free services like women's health clinics. But yeah, I think just do your research. It's definitely really important and really great if you actually go through with getting the help you need. But one thing is like screaming in the back of your mind, like, parents, you know, you don't want your parents to find out, and I totally understand that. I am completely reluctant with my parents knowing anything about what's going on, but at the end of the day, I say it's inevitable. If you're going through suicidal ideations, self-harm, if you're strongly depressed and anxious, your parents are going to find out most likely. If that's you attempting suicide, ending up in hospital, or self-harming a bit too much, or just your friends or anyone contacting them, they are more aware of what's going on than you realise. So I think the best thing you could possibly do is just sit them down, just let them know maybe the basics, like just the bare minimum if you can. Just say, you know, Mum, Dad, I'm going through some stuff. I've been struggling, and, you know, I'd really like it if you could help me get some counselling. 9 times out of 10, they should be okay with that. They might be a bit more curious and ask a few questions. If they do that, then just kind of answer as much as you can. Let them know if you're uncomfortable. Let them know that it's not something that you like discussing, but, you know, you realise that it's a problem and you need help, and you just would strongly appreciate if they let you do so. It can be so terrible with them finding out things because you don't want to hurt them. I understand, like, I've been going through stuff for so long now and they've been knowing the bare minimums. Sometimes they find out, like, when I want to kill myself, through, like, my case manager contacting them. But at the end of the day, like I said that before, I'm sorry, but, like, they're gonna find out, especially if you kill yourself or something, and then imagine if you hadn't opened up to them and then they find you dead, and then they have to spend the rest of their lives blaming themselves for not realising what was going on or not being there for you. Like, that would torment them. Like, the pain they go through, finding out that things are going on for you is nothing compared to the pain that they will go through if you killed yourself successfully. So, yeah, that's just something I want to put out there. It can be really scary. You can maybe write them a letter if you want. Just take, like, small steps. Don't even look at it as, like, you look around, you're not being supported or getting help right now. Don't, like, look at it like you have to quickly jump in and get, like, psych help straight away. Just take small steps. Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your teachers. Just get as much support as you possibly can in order to effectively get through this, because this is a difficult time and you cannot do it alone. It's not fair. Especially the fact that there are people out there who can help you. scary, it's challenging, it's a pain in the ass, but one day you'll be able to put it all behind you and move on with your life. So don't suffer in silence. It's not worth it at all. As painful as it is, tell someone, just do it, get on track. Even if you're not sure if you want to recover. I know a lot of people aren't sure because, you know, your illnesses just become your identity and you're not sure who you are without them, and you're not sure if you want to recover because they convince you that you need them. But even if you're not sure, I think it's so important that you at least get the help. That's not like a kind of thing that straight away means you need to recover, but it just means you're supported and they can provide you with skills and alternatives and just support through this, and then they can be there for you when you do decide that you are ready to move on and try recovery. So yeah, I hope this has been helpful. Yeah, I'm sorry if I just talk a lot. I'll try to make more videos if anyone's interested, and yeah, I hope it was helpful. Take care, guys.